Hi everybody, welcome to ABC Gluten Free. Thank you for joining us today, whether you're tuning in from live stream or Facebook Live. We are glad you're here. I'm your host Dana, and this is my beautiful helper Sophia, and I have a second beautiful helper today, Ariana. And thank you for joining us. Are you glad to be here?
Yes.
She doesn't really know what we're making, so it could be a little bit of a...
Wait, she does.
Well, she doesn't know what rhubarb is, though.
You want to taste a piece?
No, not yet. Nope, not yet, not yet. So today we have interesting show planned for you today. It's going to be Smart Pops versus Smart Tarts versus what's
Ham
the next
pies.
one? Ham pies. Ham pies are. Sophia's changing the name.
Look,
She's changing the name.
Smart Pops.
How come we're getting interrupted when it says
You
do not
still
disturb?
get interrupted. You just don't get the noise.
Oh, okay. Anyway, so we apologize for any interruptions, but we're going to continue on. So today we're making our version of a Pop-Tart, which we're not allowed to use that word. So you can't say Pop-Tart.
Why?
So don't use the word Pop-Tart in the show, okay?
That's
Because we're not allowed to say Pop-Tarts. So we're going to say Smart Tarts or Smart Pops or...
Pop.
What other names can you think of?
Or Pops.
Well,
Yummy
Yummy treats. We're going to be versing against hand pies because technically they're very similar. You can use the same dough or recipe to make them both, and you can do what with the inside?
Fill it.
Fill it with yummy stuff, right? Like what kind of yummy stuff you want to fill it with? We're going to give you two options today. We're going to give you a sweet and a savory. So we're going to get started because these girls need to get to work. All right, girls, bowl, flour, butter.
I don't know where anything is.
I know, the bowls are right there, but you can grab that.
Why is there yogurt?
Bring the whole bowl up front, Sophia. All right, so today we're using gluten-free flour blend. You can use whatever option or choice you like. And the technique of the dough is a little bit up to you. If you want a really nice, super flaky dough, or if you just want like a flat pie crust. All right, leave that in there for now.
Why are you taking everything out?
Oh, actually, you could take everything out and then we'll put it over here. So I just want to talk to you about a couple of the options that we have. Let me go over this real quick. They wanted to do ham, cheese, and asparagus in our Smart Tarts.
What?
Savory ones. Yeah, you can eat them raw. These are from Kowicki's farm. If you guys aren't getting to the farmer's market, you're missing a lot. You're missing asparagus, rhubarb, the whole deal. So if you're watching locally on Facebook Live, Wednesdays, downtown Toms River, go check it out. Yummy. All right. We also have the rhubarb, which is amazing. Did you ever eat raw asparagus? It's super yummy. Actually, when you first pick them, they're really sweet and very tender. All right, so what else do we have here? We have just mayo. This can be used when you're baking cakes or making pie crusts or tarts as like an egg replacement or an oil replacement, one of the few. Mustard, we might use a little bit of mustard in the dough just to be able to tell the difference between a sweet and a savory dough. If we're not putting herbs or cheese, we want to be able to tell the difference. So that yellow color mustard would help us. We also have some oat milk, which is a non-dairy yogurt. And this yogurt can be used in the dough instead of a butter or a milk or cream. So we're doing a lot of similar stuff to what we did with the biscuits. Biscuit versus shortcake, right? Which you guys weighed in last week, and it seemed like you wanted more of a shortcake. So hopefully you guys got that last week in our recipe that we posted on Facebook. But we're going to get started with this. Are your hands clean? You just put your hand in your mouth? Go wash. We're going to be making this dough by hand. Ariana and Sophia are going to get busy, and I'm just going to kind of guide them. So we're going to be doing a cup of our flour mix. Now, the more cornstarch you have in your flour, the more elastic it may become. The more you can stretch it and kind of pull it with making those handheld pies. But if your flour does not have that, you might pull and stretch and break. So you just want to be careful with that. We pull and stretch and break because we don't have a lot of cornstarch or corn flour in our flour mixture. All right, so we're going to get started. Girls, we're going to do 1 cup of flour in the bowl. Ariana, you can measure 1 cup of flour.
Is this a cup?
It is, but you're going to put the flour in with a spoon.
Do I have to go to the very top?
Fill it to the top, like this rim right here. We're going to do 1 cup of flour, a pinch of salt. We're going to, now is where we kind of have a little bit of freedom. We can do baking powder, baking soda, and something acidic like buttermilk or the yogurt, something like that. Or you don't have to flatten it out, just put it in there. And then we can going to decide if we're doing a savory crust. Do we want to put cheese in that crust, or do we want to put herbs in the crust? Actually, you know what? Let's do 2 cups, because I think we need about 6 tarts. You could do 2 pinches of salt in the bowl. All right. So Ariana, did you ever have a Pop-Tart?
I've had the ones from the stores.
Like the grocery store, right? A Pop-Tart. So a lot of you guys have Pop-Tarts, and maybe this is not to be fresh or anything like that, but maybe that's your breakfast or your snack. So we're worried about that. So we want you to have something healthier. So we're making Smart Pops. Is that what we named them? You have flour in your face.
Smart Pops.
Tarts. You say Smart Pops, you say Smart
That's
Tarts.
what's
Ready?
there.
1, 2, 3, go.
Smart Pops.
Which one do you guys like better? We'll let you vote. So it's hand pies versus Smart, or we'll change it to Smart Tarts versus
Smart Pops.
Smart Pops. Which one do you guys like better?
I just kept saying Smart Tarts.
I know, it's hard to get out of your mouth. Pop-Tarts just comes out so easily, but can't say that name.
Or Pop Pops.
Can't say that name.
Smart.
All right, so we hope, anyway, is that
pocket pies.
All right, hold on. We hope you guys BYON, first of all.
Bring your own napkin.
Bring your own napkin. You know about bringing your own napkin, Ariana? She brought her own apron, so we love that she has her own apron, right? It has her name on it, and it's got delicious fruits from the farmer's market. Maybe you got those from Kowicki's farm. I don't know. Maybe those watermelon slices are from Kowicki's.
Oh, I know it's good.
So we hope you guys BYON, because these little Smart Pops, not only are they healthier, but they're also going to be customized to you. So this dough can really vary as something that you can use for a bunch of different things. So we've got our
Flour and salt.
Thank you very much. Flour and salt is ready in there. Now what we're going to do is we're going to add, Sophia, stop. We're either going to be adding a butter or a yogurt, or what would you guys like to put in here?
I don't know anything about cooking, so butter.
That's not true. You know a little bit about cooking. So we're going to use butter.
Stuff.
You want Kerry Golds?
Yes.
All right, get the Kerry Golds out. So we're going to make like a crumbly, flaky kind of a dough. And then once we get that started, we're going to add our wet ingredients. Now, the wet ingredients
You want unsalted?
Yeah, that's good, honey, since we put salt in it already. Is this smart in sign language? Smart.
I think so.
Pop. I'm going to make my own sign language for this.
This is
Smart.
popcorn.
Pop.
This is
How about that,
popcorn.
Miss Michelle? How did we do? You guys want to say hi to anybody while we're being goofy right this second?
Hi,
Let's say hi to
Mommy.
Miss Michelle. Say hi to your mom. How about your brother?
Hi, blacksmith.
You're saying hi to the dog. All right, so we have
Adorable.
2
I know,
cups.
right?
I know, right?
I love my
We have
color.
2 cups of flour and about 4 tablespoons of butter. Sophia's going to handle this.
So you need to melt it.
No, you don't need to melt it.
Oh,
You're not going to
I
use
have a
that
different
knife. You can use a different knife. Get one in the drawer.
Well,
She's going to cut it up
I
into
got my
small
knife.
pieces. And then she's going to incorporate it into the dough. You guys are goofballs.
They cut
you.
it when my grandma cuts it.
Your grandma cuts it like this? Which
Yeah.
grandma?
My grandma on my mom's side. She cuts it where it's like pointed towards her thumbs.
Mrs. Healy? Me, Miss Maureen?
Yeah.
So she cuts it, and what does she do when she's making it? What does she do with the butter? Is it when she's baking or cooking?
Just with anything. Like whenever she's cutting, that's how she cuts it.
Okay, so we're cutting just like you, Mrs. Healy. That's
Mrs.
fine.
Haley, that sounds.
What?
Mrs. Haley sounds kind of weird.
Sounds weird. Well, I don't want to call her Miss Maureen. All right, Sophia, so
I
you're
call
going...
her grandma.
All right, well, you can call her grandma. Well, I'm not going to call her grandma. She's not my grandma.
I know, it just sounds weird to me because I call her grandma.
Yeah. All right, so do you notice we didn't put any sugar in this dough because we're going to do a savory one. So you guys want to put cheese, you want to put herbs, or do you want to put little mayo and mustard?
Herbs.
You want to put herbs. Think about what we're making. We're going to make ham, asparagus, and cheese, right?
Are we making the dough right now?
We're making the dough right now. You can put some dill in it.
What's a dill?
Dill is like the spice you find in the pickle.
Like a dill pickle.
Mhm.
Oh. Yeah.
We could put just a little mayonnaise and mustard in it.
I don't like mayonnaise.
But it's really just to make the dough. It's not flavoring it, really.
I like mustard, so we should do mayonnaise and mustard.
Alright, so we'll do mayonnaise and mustard. What I'm going to do is about 2 tablespoons of mayonnaise. And Ariana, you can do that. So 2 of these. You don't have to fill them all up. And then I'm just going to do a squirt of mustard. Just a squirt.
This is large.
A little bit of a long squirt, but a
That's
squirt.
enough. Is that one?
Yep, that's one. Sophie, you're going to go off into a fork now, honey.
Oh, please,
No.
I want to do my hands so bad.
No. Not with the mayonnaise and mustard.
There we go.
She's going to incorporate this butter, mayonnaise, and mustard by just kind of pressing the butter into it. Now, you guys have a food processor at home. Thank you, Ariana. You can do this pulse, 1, 2, 3, and you'll be done, and it's very, very quick. But being that we just want to have a good time, we want to have fun, we're going to do it that way. Alright, so while she's doing that, I'm just going to explain to you a little bit about, now we need something wet to kind of join it together. You can use milk, you can use buttermilk, you can use yogurt, you can use seltzer, you can use cottage cheese, you can use sour cream. Really, the choices are very endless. We're probably going to just do seltzer because we want to keep that flavor of the dough. And we are going to incorporate that seltzer in it, and it'll give it a little bit of air. It'll almost be like baking powder, baking soda in it, okay? You could use baking powder, baking soda, and the seltzer, and you'll get a bigger air, or you can use an egg, which we're not going to use today, but that will also make it, what?
What's a seltzer?
Seltzer is just seltzer, like seltzer water.
Fizzy water. Oh.
Seltzer water. You know what that is? You don't know that?
I know what fizzy water is.
So this is seltzer. Just water with carbonation in it.
Oh, yeah, I know what that is.
Okay. So once you're done incorporating you gotta get move a little faster, please. We also have a pastry blender. If you use a pastry blender at home, it's totally fine. Or your food processor, or your hand, or your Minions, whichever one you decide. Wait, Minions.
Hello.
Hello.
Banana?
I love those little Minions. They're so cute. Alright, Sophia, you're doing a good job. I'm going to open up the seltzer.
Anna did most of it.
Oh, good job, Anna. Alright, Sophia, you're done with that, I believe.
Can I put the seltzer in? Make it well.
Yeah, but you got to listen when I say stop.
Okay.
Alright, so we're going to do,
Well.
actually I'll just measure for you because I don't want it to be like, I'm going to stop. We're going to start with half of a cup.
You must go in the well.
And
The well,
Ariana can pour the half a cup. Because we have 2 cups of flour, it's probably going to take a little bit more seltzer than that. So we'll just keep an eye on it and we'll make sure we keep. Sophia, start stirring, honey. Now if you have your food processor, you're just going to kind of pour it in and start pulsing. When it comes together, then you're going to stop. Alright, we have that. Thank you.
Ready?
Sophia, I need you to get working. I need you to do the work, honey. We have to get going. We're not going to be here all day. We want to make a short show for you throughout the summer because we want you to be able to kind of like get a grip on it, have an idea of what's going on, and then make it yourself once we post a recipe. And we want you guys to put some comments on the bottom if you have any questions or concerns, or if you're not really sure how much of this we used, or you're not really sure if your flour is going to work. We can hopefully answer the questions for you on the bottom of our Facebook page and our live stream page. We'll get back to both of you. If you have really extensive questions, you can send us a personal message, and we'll hopefully answer it that way for you. Or if you have a friend you want to show this recipe to, tag them in the comments, and they can see what we're making today. How much did you put?
Just a little bit.
So another, like, what do you mean a little bit? Like a half of this?
Like.
So 2/3 of that. So we almost did 3/4 of a cup of seltzer. So we have, this is a 12 ounce. Yeah, there's, no, we need it. Alright, so what Ariana's doing now, Ariana, I just need you to incorporate it. You don't need to be, like, you don't need to do anything but kind of like push and pull. Alright? We don't need to stir it really hard. We don't want to make a really rough dough. We want it to be still tender. Alright? Good girl. Yep, and now what we're going to do is, Sophie, get the plastic wrap. We're going to roll this right out into the plastic wrap. Now it's got a little bit of yellow color. What'd you say? Yeah, you're doing good. We're going to have a little bit yellow color because we have the Kerrygold in there. Now if you're doing dairy free, you want to use the Earth Balance, works the best. or you can use Spectrum, which is what we used earlier today, and we'll show you that later. Because you have many, many, many options. With the Kerrygold's, you need less butter than you would if you're using regular American butter or Spectrum. So because it has a higher fat content and because there's no water in it. All right, good, that's perfect. So she's got it blended until it's like almost just incorporated, right? We've got a little bit of dry on the sides here, but we've got mostly incorporated dough. And what I'm going to do is just take it and I'm going to just combine it with my hand together now that it's not too messy. And I'm going to put this onto here. Just a minute, babe, girl. And if we had the herbs in there, we could have been able to tell that this is our savory dough. But we have the mayo and the mustard, and that should be delicious. So I'm just going to join it together. And now I'm going to put this in the refrigerator for about 20 minutes. And hopefully we'll get back to it for you guys to see. So now, Sophie, you can get the other dough out.
Gotta spank it on.
Just spank it. Everybody spank the dough before they put it in the refrigerator.
Get your anger out on the dough.
You can get your anger out on the dough. That's not really a good dough to get your anger out on, but you can do it. Because, like, it's not like a piece of dough. Hey, cool it.
Get your anger out of the one that's in the fridge.
Alright, so this is the dough that we made earlier. We already made some hand pies and smart pops for you because we want to really get going on the show. I'm actually going to have Sophia put them in the oven. So take it out of the freezer, baby girl, and let's show them real quick. So we have some already made that we're going to put in the oven. Sophia, we did, hold it up, good girl. Hold it up to both so they can see. Back up a little bit. Alright, so we did a strawberry rhubarb, smart pop, hand pie on this one tray. We're going to do a little bit more of these on this one. Put it in for 12 for now. We have the oven on 375. If you want to bump it up to 400 or 425, you can. Just reduce the amount of time you have it in the oven. Alright? So now what we're going to do is we're going to roll this dough out, and I'm going to try to do a quick roll on this so the girls can get going with making
Roses.
one of theirs. We're focusing on making the Pop-Tarts.
Yeah, but are we allowed to put our signature on it?
Yes,
so
but you can't take long. You know what I mean? We've got to get these people. This is Friday. They want to enjoy the weekend. They don't want to stick around too long, so we want to get them out of here, okay? Alright, so what I'm doing is I'm just rolling the dough out into a rectangle shape. The rectangle shape is going to give me just the right shape that I need to make the tarts, to make the smart pops or the hand pies, either one. And I'll show you that real quick. Alright, so I'm rolling out, getting it even, pulling the plastic wrap. Notice I have plastic wrap on top and bottom. This saves you a lot of time and frustration when you're baking gluten-free or allergen-free. You want to make sure that you don't want it to stick and you don't want to keep using a lot of flour because that'll make a really hard, tough dough and you don't want that. So here we have our dough rolled out. You can see that. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take the top plastic off. Now this one is made with Spectrum. So that is the palm oil, vegetable oil. And I'm just going to cut it, sorry Sophia, to make it a nice rectangle shape that we can make a bunch of tarts out of. Let's see.
Wait,
so, alright, the girls wanted to roll these up, but they wanted to roll them up and make something fancy. Go ahead, Ariana. But I really want you guys to make tarts. So I think we have enough for 3 on this one. We made 4 from the other one, so that was the one dough that we made earlier. Excuse me. So I'm going to just cut this into thirds. Actually, maybe we could do 4. There we go. We're going to do 4. Excuse me, honey. I could probably just move the plastic, but I'm not. Alright, so let me show you that I've made 4 rectangles out of that dough, right? Now, it is hot today in New Jersey. The dough will tend to kind of get a little bit soft. So you either want to work fast or get it done and put them in the refrigerator. So, okay, there you go. Go ahead, Ariana, get that one. So now it's time to fill them. The filling that we made is a beautiful strawberry rhubarb jam. Would you get, oh, here it is. That we actually made with Krowicki's Farm strawberries and rhubarb. And we left that in the crock pot overnight, and it got a nice thick I put 1 pinch of agar-agar in there, and agar-agar is a sea vegetable, and that agar-agar acts as a thickening agent, and it just brought our jam together, so we've got it nice and thick. We could have strained it as we were cooking it, but we did not do that. All right, girls, you ready? We're going to fill our pops, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to fill one side, and then the other side we're going to lay over.
Okay.
And then we're going to kind of do a nice little design on there. So here's the rhubarb. Sure. So here's the rhubarb.
So I just flip it over?
Well, when we flip it over, the thing that you have to remember is, well, we're going to do them all at the same time.
Oh.
You guys can do the edging on your own. The thing that we have to remember when we flip them over is we want to take the air out around the jam so it doesn't start splitting like we had before. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you real quick. I'm taking my plastic wrap. See how good I'm using my plastic wrap? It's very easy for me. And I'm just going to line up those. And when I pull back, now I can functionally fix it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start from the inside, pull it back a little bit, and I'm going to go on the outside and take out all that air that's in that by the jam. Then I can press towards the edges, and I can start to create my little pocket. All right? So now you girls can do this. Let me give you some plastic wrap so you guys can separate.
Second one, she gets 2. Well, I get
Both
2.
get 2.
Yeah.
All right, Ariana, there's yours. And there's yours. Sophia, watch out, watch out. All right, now Sophia can do hers. And then what we're going to do is we're going to pinch the edges with our little fork. We're going to make like a nice little design. You could use a big fork, you could use a little fork, you can cut it with the ravioli cutter. I know because it's hot in here, so we have a squishy situation here. But if we solidified the jam a little bit more in the refrigerator and left it in there before the show started, then we would have had a little bit of an easier time. So this back of this ravioli press is to kind of make a design on it. So we can press our dough. What?
I never knew that.
We can press our dough. You can make gnocchi with this too. Gnocchi.
Gnocchi's all delicious.
Or you can use a fork and do it with a fork. I don't like the fork as much as I like this little pretty thing. Ariana, what are you going to do? A fork or are you going to do? Excuse me, Sophia. There's forks in here you could use.
I think if you do one with a fork and one without a fork.
There's a little different fork.
Ready?
So the fork design really is just for prettiness. You don't have to do that. You can just seal the edges. And you don't have to seal the edges with an egg wash or anything like that. When we put the Smart Pops in the oven, it's up to you. You could sprinkle the top with sugar. You can do an egg wash on it or a milk wash or oil wash, whatever it is that you want to do. You could do butter. And when it comes out, then you can decide if you want to do a little drizzle with some sprinkles or if you want to do like just a plain one. The ones that you get in the grocery store are covered with confectionery sugar, covered with sprinkles. There's nothing healthy about them. Actually, I'm going to read to you what the POPTARTS is made, what it has. 200 calories for one, 38 carbs, 16 grams of sugar. That is so much sugar. So we don't have any of that because we have lower calories, lower sugar, lower carbs. And the reason being is because what we have inside is just rhubarb and strawberries. We didn't put any sugar in there. The natural sugar, that's from the fruit. We only put a teeny tiny bit of sugar in our dough, the sweet one. The savory one, you know, we put none. And then we have homemade jam, which just has agar-agar in it and the fruit. And the girls are doing really pretty decorations on top. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get the baking sheet with parchment paper, and I'm going to put these onto that very carefully and then try to get them into the freezer. All right, girls, here I come. You girls ready for me? No, why not?
That one's pretty. I thought it wasn't pretty.
All right, Sophia, I will take, actually you could decorate them after I put them on the thing.
Ah!
Sorry, honey. I'm going to just put them down on the parchment paper. I really want to let that dough chill because I want it to firm up. Sophia, now you can decorate, and let me have this. And if you have your plastic wrap, you could just flip them over right onto the baking sheet. And then just do one more flip so you have it face up.
I like the plain side.
You like the plain side? You could have left it.
Can you put it back?
Put it back on the plain side? Alright. There we go. So Sophia has one done and she's putting a rose on the top. These roses are probably going to get a little bit burnt, but whatever.
Wait.
Want to do a little mouthwash on that?
Sure.
So when you're making these Smart Pops, I suggest you do double. You make them ahead of time and either freeze them or bake them and then freeze them. Then when you actually want one, you have it and it's ready and you could just put it in the toaster, which is what Pop-Tarts were originally made, to put in the toaster. And they were like a quick snack or a quick breakfast. But as we've gotten less and less more comfortable in the kitchen, we're cooking less and less and we actually are making less healthy food for ourselves. So we don't want you to do that. We want you to eat healthy, eat delicious. We want you to enjoy an allergen-free life or just, you know, a deliciousness. Sophia, this is very nice that you did on the edging here. I wish I could get a picture of that. So today we're missing our cameraman. Jeremiah is off on a golfing day, and it was just a fiasco this morning getting the stuff ready. Thankfully, we got the GoPro up and it's running. We've got both of the cameras running, but we have no idea what the show is going to end up looking like, so we apologize to you guys. But if you're tuning in, we really appreciate it, and we thank you so much for joining us.
It's supposed to be
Wow. A what?
an A.
Oh, nice. Okay, let's put that in here.
It doesn't look great.
Let me take this away. Sophia, stop now, please, and I need to get these in the refrigerator. All right, what I want you to do, Sophia, is hold it up and show them. No, she wanted it that way. Why would you touch her creation?
I thought I fell over when you flipped it.
All right, why don't you hold this parchment. Come over here. Hold the parchment, and I want you to hold the parchment in the corners exactly like I was holding it. And then hold it up so everybody can see. Back up, back up, back up. All right, so as you can see, Sophia's holding up these beautiful Pop Smarts. I got it, let go. See those? And the nice edging, and they did flowers on them. Look how cute that is. All right, those have to go in the freezer. Freezer. Put them in the freezer, please.
We're going over our creation.
They're talking about their creations, and it's very cute. But they need to get in the freezer because it's so hot today. I'm afraid they're just going to melt away. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to work on the savory one. And, oh, I just want to go back to the rhubarb for a moment. So I cut up 2 rhubarb stalks and 1 pint of, a large pint of Christina's, the Crowickies Farm strawberries. They were super delicious. So juicy. Programming. And I put those into the crock pot. If you don't have a crock pot or you don't have time, you can cook it on the stove just really low and slow. And it actually reduced down to half. Sour, right? It's so good. So if you've never had rhubarb, it's really good raw.
My eyes are shut.
I think this is where they originally made like Sour Patch Kids, thinking of rhubarb. Like Sour Patch Kids?
Yes.
Well, this is it, but naturally. Your mom would be happier with this, right?
My mom doesn't even like Sour Patch Kids.
So this
we don't get them anymore.
Right. So rhubarb is like in the celery family. It's actually not in the celery family.
It's in the
rhubarb
sour
and
family.
buckwheat are in the same family.
Buckwheat.
I should have looked up a little bit more about rhubarb, but it has a lot of vitamins and a lot of good stuff for you. A and C, and these are things that you want. These are good things that you want. We're gonna get started on the inside of our savory one.
Sunburn.
Sophie, that's a good one. Get a cutting board, please.
The sunburned celery.
For the savory one, we have Ariana's request, asparagus. We have Kerrygold Dubliner, and we have some ham. Now, you really can pick what you want to put in here. I'll get it in a second. Flip it over. You really can pick whatever you want to do in the savory ones, but they wanted to do this. So what you're going to do, Sophia, pay attention, please. You're going to cut up just 2 asparagus, a little bit of cheese, and a little bit of ham. I'll be right back.
Ooh. Can I cut up my asparagus? Look at that chubby cherry.
Oh my gosh.
That's a sad asparagus.
Can I bring this up to the camera?
Yeah, that's an asparagus from VeggieTales.
Look at it. It's so beautiful. Oh my gosh. This, yeah, like those ladies I
Sophie, you put it in for 12 minutes with that? Sophia, did you put the Pop-Tarts in your bowl?
Mom, look at this asparagus.
All right, so we
Look
checked.
at this.
Just a minute. We checked on the asparagus. We checked on the Smart Pops. They were in for 12 minutes at 375. They need to go a little bit longer. Now, what am
How
I
do you
looking
want
at?
it, dice or slice? Look at
This is interesting. Wow.
It's like the VeggieTales asparagus.
Yeah, junior asparagus. Oh no, Archibald.
Or
He needs glasses. He needs little googly eye glasses. Archibald the asparagus. All right.
How do you want it, dice or slice?
Well, we're gonna put it
Take
in
off the top.
the top part, so you don't want to have to pull it when you eat it. So you want it into little dices.
So like
You could put it in here and here. All right. So she's got 2 asparagus. She's gonna cut up. And then Sophia, you can get another cutting board and do the cheese. We're gonna do a little bit of cheese. Now Sophia can have I know a lot of times we say dairy free. It's really dairy select, but we can have Kerrygold cheese. So Sophia's gonna put like 1 or 2 slices, just a minute, of Kerrygold. Here, you can use my cookie.
I got the cheese now.
Okay. We're gonna do 1 or 2 slices of Kerrygold in the savory one.
How
And then
about 3?
No.
What?
Oh, thank you, Miss Kate. She's the one who got us our Kerrygold. Yay, thank you.
Mommy. Wait.
Woo, woo.
Mine is Kate.
Your mom, yeah.
Yeah.
And then we just have some uncured honey ham. I'm not.
Uncured means it's treated already.
Uncured means that they don't put any nitrates or
Pesticides.
nitrites or anything like that.
Oh.
No, it doesn't mean that it's treated right. It just means that. But it does say. Oh no, I thought it said humanely raised, but it doesn't. So we have just a ham. Actually, this is from Walmart. If you guys go to Walmart, it's like their premium line of cold
Where is
cuts.
this from? Oh.
Huh.
All right, Sophia, stop. Pay attention, please. I'm having a hard time with you paying attention today. Cut up a few slices of
You
ham.
didn't even tell me you cut up ham before.
I know, but you're off on tangents. I don't know where you are.
What's a tangent?
She's like in her own little world a little bit, which is fine, but I need you to still do stuff.
Is she being a space cadet?
I don't know. What's the space cadet, really?
That's what we call Gabe because
No.
tell him something and it'll be like,
Okay, you
what?
don't need to say that on here. You don't want to rat at your brother. All right, so we're gonna chop up a little bit of ham. We have our cheese already cut, and Ariana's gonna do the asparagus and put them in the container so we can get ready to make a savory version. All right, come on, cut it up and get it in the bowl.
Good.
We don't want to keep you guys too long, and I want the girls to work a little bit faster. If you can't talk and work, you gotta like learn how to talk and work at the same time. All right. We also did a few of our Smart Pops hand pies with mascarpone. Now the difference between a hand pie and a Pop-Tart is really nothing different than possibly the filling or the shape. So, can you go take care of that, please? So when we make the pops and the hand pies, I love hand pies. I love to roll the edges of the hand pies and like have them just like super crispy on the outside. I love hand pies. They're so yummy. With the knife in your hand? That was dangerous. All right, come on, finish chopping because we gotta go. So with our savory ones, we're gonna fill them with ham, cheese, and asparagus. Let me just wash my hand off real quick.
This is like way too good for me to not eat it.
So if you get the dough out of the refrigerator, and we need plastic wrap again.
This one too.
So we're just gonna keep our ingredients right here. Sophia, put the ham in the bowl. Sophia, put the ham in the bowl. Thanks, Sophia. Put the ham in the bowl. All right. Sorry, Ariana, I'm reaching over you. All right, now we need plastic wrap. Sophia, can I have the dough and the plastic wrap? This dough it really didn't have very long to go in the refrigerator, but we need like 20 minutes to half an hour. You could say hello.
Hi, Lily.
Miss Sarity? Hi, Miss Sarity. So I'm going to cut off a little piece of this dough. I'm going to put the rest in the fridge because it's just not ready. Sophia, I need plastic wrap, please.
Do I cut the end too?
Not if it's too hard, no.
That's really hard.
Yeah, so don't cut it. We save those and we'll make stock. Put this in the refrigerator and give this to Mom.
Like chicken stock?
We can make vegetable stock. We can make chicken stock. We save all our veggie ends and make stock. So like onions, carrots, all that stuff. All right, so what I'm doing is I'm just going to roll out. Put it away, please. I'm going to roll out the dough so that we can make one of our savory ones for you. So you don't have to miss that. Last week I felt like you guys missed out on the biscuit because it didn't come out on time. But we did post the pictures for you. So it was actually the shortcake. The biscuit we had ready. Alright, so I'm just going to roll this dough out very gently. I can see that nice golden from the Kerrygold butter. And I can see the flecks of the mustard. So I think we'll turn these these little babies into hand pies because that's a little bit easier than making those perfect smart pops. We'll see. Alright, girls. Stop eating. Put this away.
Can't help it.
I'm hungry. Get rid of the
I'm extremely hungry.
I'm sure you are. She said she didn't eat breakfast. I said, well, now you gotta wait. Because we don't have time, right? Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to cut rectangles and triangles. Now this is where your geometry can come into effect, right?
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, dun dun dun.
You got
So, watch out, baby girl. I'm going to cut. Watch your hand. I said move your hand. I'm going to cut this, and then I'm going to cut it. I'm cutting it into a rectangle. Then I'm cutting it into a square.
And then into a triangle.
And then I'm going to cut it into a triangle, this one's a little crooked, but now I'll show you. So we've got 4 triangles that were ready. Let go, let go. Alright, so what we're going to do is I'm going to show the first one, and then the girls can do the next one.
Can I roll this dough up?
No, I don't want you to roll the dough up. It takes too much time. Please.
Is there eggs in this?
No, there's no eggs.
Can I try it?
Give it to Mommy, please.
Can I try it?
Sure. Alright, we don't have time to make roses with this, so we're going to have to just wait. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take some asparagus. I'm going to take a piece of cheese. I'm going to actually kind of make that cheese fit on that side. I'm going to take the asparagus, put it in there. And I'm going to take a little bit of ham and put it right in there. I'm going to wipe my hand off. And then I'm just going to take it and fold it over. Fold it over.
Too
There
much.
we go with the split.
That's
Make a
gonna
little
be
sandwich.
good. You're like,
But
that's gonna be
if
good.
I made it a little bit bigger, I could have done. Because I don't like.
So
I
let's
like.
do a square.
Yeah, maybe I should. All right, let's open this back up. And I'm gonna just add some asparagus, a little bit more ham, no more cheese, and then I'm gonna fold it over and use both of them.
What about the other one? Oh,
Just patience, okay? We can unfold that, don't worry about it. Alright, so now when I fold this back, I'm going to undo that. I'm going to pick this one up, Sophia, get the parchment paper. And I'm going to just kind of squeeze those openings that I have, because I want to mend this dough. So when you mend the dough, you just want to use your hand. And we're going to kind of get the scissors.
okay. Where's the pan?
So I'm going to turn it over and make sure I get that other side too. I want to mend that part. And then I'm going to put this right onto the baking sheet and I'm going to kind of smush it. Alright, so this one, it maybe explode, but it will go through the oven. Alright,
The
girls.
ones that explode are the most delicious.
So now you girls can make this one. I'm going to put the seam back together here. You girls can make this one. Move this over. Take this. I'll take that. And then I can actually make one more out of this little bit of dough that we have here. I think I'll just do cheese and asparagus for myself. I'm going to skip the ham. So what you do is just keep re-rolling out that dough. And when you get to the size that you like, then you're just going to kind of fill it with what you want. So I smell it right now. I smell something yummy. So girls, too much stuff in there, it's not going to close.
It's so good though. Oh, that cheese.
I'm doing a little bit of asparagus on the one side and just a little bit of cheese. I don't want too much cheese.
Where's the extra part?
I already used it.
It's melting. It's all
Use the plastic wrap, Sophia, and fold it over like we always do.
We did.
Okay, good girl.
Yeah, but it's all melting. It feels melty.
Alright, so I've got a nice little hand pie. I've got just cheese and asparagus in there. And this is going to go into the refrigerator or the freezer for about 20 minutes. It's got to. All right, so if you could put that right onto the good girl. All right, get a baking sheet so we can put this on the baking sheet.
Can we melt that cheese on top of it?
Sure. You can do that. You can even split it up into the two if you want.
Because that's really thick.
Yep. Or you can always grate some cheese on top. You can even do an egg wash or a buttermilk wash, something like that. Get the baking sheet first. Thank you. I am going to go check on the Smart Pops that are already in the strawberry rhubarb ones, and then we're going to get started on our drink because it's time to get going. We got to get going.
Ready?
Good girl. Teamwork. Teamwork.
Good, yeah.
You could put the other ones in the oven. Watch out, this is hot over there. Alright, so these are coming out. Look at these little babies. Look how pretty they are. What, honey? Look at those. About 15 minutes, and then we'll check them. Ariana, I don't know if you'll be able to do that. Let me do it. My freezer's packed. That's like not for you can't set someone up by letting them go in my freezer.
Take the drink.
All right, so here we have our Smart Pops. We've got rhubarb and strawberry, rhubarb, strawberry, and mascarpone in there. We're gonna get our drink going so these can cool. Sophia, move this stuff out of the way. So for our drink, the strawberry rhubarb that we made, I really wanted to use it in my drink, kind of like a Bellini type of a drink. And we've got our rhubarb that we're going to slice into little slivers. Get the excess. Get the orange juice. We've got seltzer. We've got a delicious...
That's the excess. This is the poor excess.
Alright, we've got a delicious mixture for you, and I'm going to go over all of the ingredients. So we've got Excess Energy Blast Mixer. This you can get on our website if you click on our website on our homepage. This is cran grape version. We have just regular orange juice, and we have seltzer. And then I'm going to make little slivers of rhubarb. Kind of like as our stir or our straw.
Mama,
What, honey?
I don't want this one, I want this one.
And I want this one. So that worked out well. Alright, so I'm going to show them how to do the drink first. Now, mine's going to be like a Bellini style. So I'm going to put a little bit of strawberry rhubarb jam in my bottom. Sophia, can we have ice, please? I'm going to use a little bit of orange juice.
Can I have the cup?
Oh, here. Put some in here for me, please. Be careful with the Pop-Tarts. I'm going to put a little bit of orange juice. I'm going to put just a little splash of cran grape. And then I'm going to top it with the seltzer. We're going about 2 ounces of OJ, 2 ounces of seltzer, and a teeny tiny splash of... Thank you, honey. Oh, thank you. Alright, so I'm going to use 3 ice cubes, and you girls can get going on yours. And then I've got my rhubarb stir that I'm going to drink with. This is kind of like the fancy virgin, what is this called? I don't even know. Bloody Mary, that's right. It's yummy.
It does, but it'll be really hard.
You guys gonna have a rhubarb stirrer. You have a rhubarb stirrer.
Okay.
Alright, so just a little bit of OJ. You guys don't want the Bellini mix, right? A little bit of excess.
She wanted to make.
Oh, okay, go ahead, I'm sorry. I always do that.
Do you want ice?
While they're making their drinks, I'm going to make our quick drizzle for the top. I'm not really fond of sugar, but I know the girls are going to want some, so I'm going to make a little bit of powdered sugar glaze. So we're doing about a half a cup of powdered sugar. And I'm doing a tablespoon of the rhubarb, and I'm just going to stir that up a little bit. Stir it, stir it.
It's
Stir
so
it, stir it.
pretty.
And we're going to have a nice little pink glaze, pinkish red glaze.
You should put this in it.
No, we're not going to put that in there right now. Okay. And if you wanted to, you could do sprinkles, but I'm not really crazy about sprinkles. So today was like National Cherry Tart Day. Because cherries are not in season yet in New Jersey, but rhubarb and strawberries are, I wanted to do this recipe for you. I'm going to do is I'm just going to drizzle that across the top.
Can I taste it?
No more excess, Sophia. No. I'm going to drizzle this right across the top of our Pop-Tarts.
Can she put a little bit more because she can't taste it?
You won't really taste it, but you get the energy from it. It's not really
I
tasted.
can taste it.
Tiny bit, Sophia. Maybe you help her. Tiny bit, because it's very strong. You're only supposed to use half of an ounce. All right, so the mixer is to make, you can make mixed drinks. These are like for bars and restaurants. Comes in 4 different flavors, and it's really amazing. But we use it for our smoothies and for our bellinis.
Ready?
You guys stirring with your rhubarb straw?
Kind of want to lick it.
Mm-hmm.
We should make a hole in it.
All right, now it's time to try our tarts.
This
Girls,
is yummy.
we hope you guys BYON, right, Sophia?
Bring out napkins.
Because although you may not be drooling over these little Pop-Tarts, these little Smart Tarts, or wait, 1, 2, 3.
Smart Pops. Smart Pops.
You decide on Smart Pops?
I didn't really care. I just kept saying Smart Tarts.
All right, so we've developed our name for it now. Although you may not be drooling over it because it's not like a super yummy dinner like we usually make, these are still a yummy treat, and they're great to take with you to the beach. So I'm going to have a little taste.
Take a little spoon.
All right, Ariana, which one do you want? These two have mascarpone, these two do not.
Mascarpone's like cream cheese, right?
Yes.
Sweet. I want one of these.
This one? Go ahead, take what you want.
What's the drizzle on top?
The drizzle is just powdered sugar with strawberry rhubarb. Or you can make a little dunk. You could dunk it in there. Here's your plate. Can you wait until your friend gets hers and then you can pick yours? Alright, Sophia is choosing the mascarpone one, which is right here. And I think I'll have the plain one with the mascarpone.
This is yours, Mom.
Alright, thank you. So we're going to have a little bite. You can pick it up and eat it.
I don't know why I'm eating it. It's hot, that's why.
You hear that? Like, nice little crispy dough on the outside. Well, hot. Ariana, just pick it up and eat it.
It's hot though.
I know, but look. This is yummy. What? Did you taste the rhubarb?
I think.
A little sweet, a little tart, right?
It's yummy.
Sophia's lapping it up. So if you wanted to, you could just make a little dip like that. You can even do a chocolate drizzle, chocolate dip, or you can do a cream cheese dip if you don't have the cream cheese inside. Sophia, wow, she must like it. She's going for it. All right, girl. Girls, it's time to go.
Okay.
Did you like your drink?
Yes.
You like your Pop-Tart, or you're not really into it yet?
It's really good.
It's really hot though, right? How do you like that crust?
Yeah.
You like the egg wash on top? I think you would like an egg wash on top. That egg wash sometimes gives it that golden, crispy texture. But this is a homemade pie crust, no gluten, no dairy, no soy. We hope you guys, no eggs, yep. So sometimes it's a little bit difficult to make, but we are happy that you guys joined us. We're also happy that we had our guests here, Ariana. Thank you, Sophia, for all your help. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you, Ariana, for your help. You goofballs. 2 goofballs and a mom. What more could you ask for? Well, maybe Jeremiah, right?
A dog.
We miss Jeremiah. All right, guys, thank you for joining us today on ABC Gluten Free. We want you to come taste and see how good it is to be gluten free. Have a delicious weekend, guys. Ciao.
Ciao.
I have to do the cards. All by myself, I gotta do the cards. Aprons by REM Designs. Hair by Body Blends and Artistry. Thank you to our pantry partners and fridge friends and all of our viewers watching and tuning in on live stream and Facebook Live. Follow us on live stream, Pinterest, blah, 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 blah. ABC Gluten Free is a production of AmericanBods.com. All recipes are thereof. Thank you guys for tuning in. God bless. Have a delicious weekend. Ciao.
Ciao.